Aloha everyone, my name is Alessandro and this is the Temple of Surf, the podcast. We'll give you full access to the best surfers, skaters, shapers, surfboard collectors, shop owners in the world. Discover with me their stories, the greater successes, amazing behind the scenes, and much more. Aloha and welcome to the 15th episode of the Temple of Surf, the podcast. Today with us from Hawaii, Nique Miller. We discuss about her passion for longboarding, future projects, and much more. Hi, Nique, and welcome to the show. Where are you today?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so grateful. Today I'm at home. I live in Honolulu, Hawaii, Waikiki, and it's paradise here. Waves were so fun this morning. I had a really great surf session. And now I'm talking to you and your audience.
You go surf every day, so amazing. Mm-hmm. Today we're going to talk about you. We're going to talk about women surfing. But the first question that I have for you is, in your opinion, what is the most important thing in surfing?
I think I think there's a couple very important things. One is definitely to have fun. I think sometimes, especially now with social media and all this stuff, people get kind of ashamed or get frustrated that maybe they're not catching on as fast as other people, or, they don't have amazing surf pictures, or they're not doing what the pros are doing because, social media nowadays, it only shows like a small part of people's lives and usually the best parts. So I feel like sometimes beginner surfers or other surfers just get frustrated because they don't see themselves doing what, people are showing, like what I show on my platform. I don't show as many of my wipeouts as I do my good waves. So I think what's most important is to always have fun while you're out there. Don't compare yourself to other people. It's your journey. Everyone's journey in life and surfing is different. Some people excel faster than others. Other people, their journey takes longer. And that's the same thing with surfing. But as long as you're having fun and as long as you're safe and you're, getting to whatever level you want to be at, that's what's important. Another thing that I think is equally as important in surfing that I talk about a lot on my platform is like inclusion. I think lots of times nowadays surfing, not so much. I mean, now it's getting better, but in the past, I feel like a lot of minorities didn't see themselves reflected in surfing. So they didn't think they could do it. They didn't see Black girls, or they didn't see Asian girls. They didn't see plus size women, they didn't see older ladies surfing. And, the media and a lot of the surf brands only targeted a certain demographic of people, and usually girls with perfect bodies. And me growing up too, I never really saw dark-skinned girls, for major surf brands or all this stuff. So I think it's very important now, and anyone listening, to know that surfing is for everybody. It started from Polynesians and Hawaiians who are dark-skinned people. And I hope, maybe if a brand is listening or anyone, that there should be more representation and inclusion in surfing, because surfing is for everybody and everybody should be represented.
Yeah, definitely. Yesterday I was at the phone with Ishita. Actually is the first Indian surfer.
Oh, wow, that's amazing! And see, surfing's everywhere.
Yes, he told me like when she started, most probably there were like 20 people surfing in all India, and India has a huge population. So, and she was telling me that for women there, going stay out in the sun and in the sea, and getting tan, getting the tone of the skin darker is something appreciated by the people. And so there is like a kind of barrier, between people assessing to surf and being respected to surf. And this is what you were saying in a certain way, inclusion, it's definitely very important.
It's super important, especially for the younger generations, to see that. And I think things are slowly changing, but that's what I try to have my platform show, like you can be a small Black boy or girl and you don't have to be a basketball player. If you want to do surfing, if you want to do hockey, if you want to do sports that normally dark skinned people don't do, like you can do it. You just follow your dreams and anything's possible.
What do you think is next to achieve in, like there are a lot of progresses done by, we can call it the Federation of Surfing in culture, in equal pay. In your opinion, what is the next thing to achieve?
I definitely think I'm not sure if it was last year or the year before, but when they started having equal pay for females, I think that was very important because we all have to travel the same distance to that contest. We all are surfing the same waves. So it was a little bit unfair. Like, why did the guys get paid more money and the girls don't? It's very expensive to compete on the world tour. If you don't have sponsors, it's almost impossible. So to go there and you're only getting half the amount of money if you win, it was really sad. I think that the same thing, like in surf media and like the Federation, the WSL, they could showcase more women surfers. I think that would help a lot. Broadcast more women surfing. I know lots of times like the guys surfing is kind of the main focus when they show it on like TV or that sort of stuff. But they do a good job showing women, but like you can just always tell. Usually guy sports is more the focus than women's sports. So if hopefully that can change, I think that would help a lot. That's all I can think of off the top of my head.
I agree with you, because if people in general can see more women surfing and more women can see women surfing, then they might be tempted to try, right?
Exactly.
We have more women surfing, we have more attention, and then one is a kind of domino effect, one thing push the other. And I totally agree with you. But let's go back to you, and let's go back to the time to your first surfboard. And do you still have it?
No, I do not have my first surfboard. I'm trying to think. I believe my first surfboard, it was a 7 feet 5 inches. It was kind of in between a shortboard and a longboard because at that time I was still learning, but I wanted to be able to catch waves faster, than being on a shortboard. But I still wanted it to be, in that moment, surfing was all about being very high progressive and, doing big turns and hitting the lip. I feel like now it's, especially for females, longboarding has gotten so popular and just to be so great. Like it was popular before, but I feel like the last 2 or 3 years, it's super popular. But before, I feel like the focus was on girls shortboarders. But trying to learn on a shortboard and just trying to compete with other surfers is hard, especially if you're a beginner and not that good. So that's why my first board, I don't even know who shaped it. I went to a store and bought it. A guy recommended it. I bought it. I kind of learned on it. I had fun. I wish I still had it. That'd be a nice little thing to maybe pass down to my kids or something in the future. But no, I don't have it right now.
No problem. So now you live in Hawaii. Hawaii is a beautiful place, a destination that is magical for all the surfer. What is your favorite place over there, surfing speaking?
It has to be Waikiki. I know many people don't like it because it's so crowded and a lot's going on, but I really love it. To me, this surfing in Waikiki is, for me, where I really progressed and where I really got good at surfing. And when I really started to learn more of the history of surfing with the Beach Boy culture and with Duke Kahanamoku and meeting his family, his the generations after him, his great nieces and cousins and all that stuff. And just the vibe in Waikiki. Are you familiar with Waikiki?
I've been there once surfing.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, it's just you get to see all the hotels and buildings, and then you have the iconic Diamond Head, and the water is usually pretty crystal clear, and the waves are like pretty, they can be sometimes advanced, but they're a little bit more intermediate. You know, usually everybody can have fun, beginners, very like world champions. And it's just really great to see that. It's really cool to see everybody. You can see little kids surfing all the way up to aunties and uncles who are in their 70s, you know? So it's just so diverse in Waikiki, which again, I really like because it's nice to see so many different, you know, Black, Asian, Hawaiian, white, all the everybody, all the ethnicities surfing. It's really cool to see that. And the water's really warm and it's tropical. And I really love Waikiki and the whole community, all my friends and my family. Like they're always there for me, always cheering me on in contests. And I just love everything about Waikiki. So that's always my favorite place. Whenever I love traveling too. I love going to other places, but whenever I'm in a different place for a while, I always want to go back home to Waikiki. So that's my favorite place to surf.
Amazing, amazing. Who is a surfer that truly inspires you?
I always reference Duke Kahanamoku because he, to me, brought surfing to so many places in the world, like modern day surfing. He was so good, like a really good swimmer. He won Olympic gold medals. You know, he was a dark Hawaiian man. And he had so much aloha. I heard stories about him, like just the really nice, generous things he would do. So I always, number one, Duke Kahanamoku is definitely someone I always will look up to and pay respect and homage to. Modern day, nowadays, I really like a Hawaiian surfer, longboarder. He won 2 world championships. His name is Bonga Perkins. He's so powerful, his surfing, but he can still be very graceful. And meeting him, the same thing. He's so nice and so humble. And if you didn't know anything about surfing, you wouldn't know he's a world champion. You know, he's not one of those people who's just like, oh, look at me, I'm so good. You know, he's very nice, very kind. Another person I really like, her name is Crystal Walsh. She almost won the world title, I believe, in 2017. She came in second, but same thing. She has beautiful. When I was first really getting into surfing, I would watch her videos a lot, and I love her style. And whenever I see her in the water, she's always just really smiley and happy and having a good time. And yeah, so those 3 people I look up to a lot, and they're Hawaiians. And yeah, I really look up to them.
I really like what you say because, okay, surfing is a sport, but it's made by person with, and most of them with great personalities, you know. And surfing with aloha, like you said, is so important. And there is something more than just being on a surfboard in the water, you know. It's like the way you behave with people, the way you share the passion, the way you give time to people. And way of being a good human being, right? In a world full of everything, there is like time for the true relationship between one human and the other. And I think it's so powerful in surfing.
I definitely agree. I found that, I like them. I think even more because they're so nice. They're such nice people, you know, like their surfing is amazing, but their surfing is amazing. Plus they're very humble and nice. It's just like, wow, that's what I want to be like, you know. I want people to say the same thing about me. Like, she surfs very well and she's very nice, you know. I don't want people to say like, oh, she surfs nice, but she's really mean, you know, like, like I don't want that. So I want to, like, what's important to me is that, you know, to be a good surfer and a good person. And that's what my grandma had taught me and my mom taught me as when I was small. And I didn't grow up I grew up in like a more poor family. So to me, not only being a good person, but working very hard in life, you know, you're not going to get, like, it's how I grew up. The only way you're going to get what you want is working very hard and never giving up. So to me, working hard, being a good person, and then being a good surfer, those are 3 important things to me.
And talking about working very hard, you keep yourself very busy, right? Between surfing, photography, jewelry, what? So many things. What's next? Is there a particular project you're working on today, or?
Well, My big dream is to be a world champion. I want to one day be able to hold up the world title trophy and accomplish my dreams, and also show people that, like I said, you can be poor but work your way up, and you can be dark skin with crazy hair and like athletic body. You don't have to have a perfect and skinny, I want to show people that you can do it. So that's right now, that's what I'm kind of working on. Every day I'm trying to get better at surfing. Like, until I win a world title, I'm not good. When I can win the world title that's when I can be like, I'm the best surfer in the world. But until then, every day I'm working really hard for that in my surfing. Other than that, I'm trying to get more sponsors because, like I said, trying to do all these contests is not cheap, especially when you fly from out of Hawaii, because we're going across the ocean. So it already makes the plane ticket more expensive. So just getting more sponsors will help. I'm so happy last year, Billabong just picked me up and sponsored me, and Sunbum Sunscreen sponsored me. So my next big goal, I would love to get like a car sponsorship, so that I don't have a car now, but if I had a car, it would be even better because I could drive to more places to surf. So trying to do that.
We say out loud, maybe some car manufacturer will listen to the podcast and then we'll give you a call.
Yes, I hope so. That'd be amazing.
We cross the fingers. Okay, cool. We're going to finish our interview with a short Q&A session. So please answer the first thing that comes up to your mind. Okay?
Okay.
The best surfboard that you ever ridden?
One I just got recently. It's Ross Williams. I just got it last week. I'm so happy with it. The color I'm happy with. So far, I had to say that one.
Cool. Your favorite shaper? Then it will be Ross Williams as well.
Yeah, it would have to be him. And then it would have to be one of the first shapers I ever had. His name is Jay Richardson. He shapes out of Makaha, Hawaii, the west side. I definitely owe him a lot. For the first couple of years, I would get that was where I got my very first custom surfboard. So I was really able to progress having a board that was made for me. So he's one of my favorite shapers and a very nice guy.
Good. Very important. Personal question, your favorite song?
Oh gosh, what's my favorite song? I'm so bad. I don't know very many song names, or gosh,
What is your favorite genre of it's like you like, I don't know, rock and roll, hip hop, reggae? What do you like?
I love all music. I really love Spanish music. I remember my grandma would play a lot of mariachi type songs when I was growing up. So whenever I hear that, it just kind of brings me back to when I was younger. So kind of anything Spanish music, just makes me remember when I was little. So, but I'm sorry, I can't think of any song artists or names.
I'm very happy about your answer. What is your favorite surf spot? Is that Waikiki?
Waikiki.
That was an easy one, right? Your favorite woman surfer?
That, like I said before, Crystal Walsh. She is my favorite surfer, woman surfer.
And the last question is a little bit unusual. We ask everybody on the show. We want to know your best relationship advice.
To be patient. To be patient and to listen. Because sometimes, you have one point of view and you think you're right. And, you have to be patient and listen to what the other person is saying. And because everybody thinks differently, everyone has grown up, had different situations in life to shape them to who they are now. So everyone looks at conflicts or looks at at things differently. So if you have a fight or a disagreement, it's just my best advice is to be patient and listen to what the other one's saying. And I think that would help out a lot of people, because sometimes even me, I can be very stubborn and I'm like, no, my way's right. But it's not. You're in a relationship with somebody, so you want to work together to find the solution,
Definitely. And, it applies on relationship, but it could apply to the world. If us would listen better, if all the politicians would listen better, if all the people in general would listen better, then definitely we would live a better life, right?
I agree.
I totally agree with you. So that was a good advice from your side. Thanks a lot, Nique, for being on the show with me. And I look forward to talk to you very, very soon. And one day, I hope you will hold that world title. And it will be.
I hope so.
Bye-bye. Well, thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And I really love that the questions were more unique. Usually a lot of the interviews, a lot of the questions are the same, but yours is the first one where I'm like, oh, it makes me think more. And I can I really enjoy that. So thank you for having a really cool, different podcast. It's really cool. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Mahalo. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, it's me again. I hope you enjoyed our today's episode. If you want to know more about us, please follow www.thetempleofsurf.com and all our social media. Mahalo!